A story. So there were two brothers, and the brothers were farmers. They each had a house on the opposite sides of a large field, and they farmed the field together. Every day they'd go out and work the field, and when it was time to harvest, they would split the crops and each take home whatever they got. One brother who lived on this side of the field had a wife and had many, many children. His house was full of noise and excitement and people, always. The brother who lived on this side of the field lived on his own. His house was peaceful and quiet. When he came home, he could read a book in quiet. And the brothers loved each other very, very much. And they continued on, each taking home half of the crops every time they harvested it. But one night, the brother on this side of the field who lived on his own was kept up late thinking, I'm just me. I have everything I need. I'm so lucky. I have enough food to eat. I have everything I need. But my brother on the other side of the field has all of these mouths to feed. I should give him some of my harvest. So in the middle of the night, he was still wearing his pajamas. He got up and he took some of his harvest from that day and he went across the field and left it at his brother's house. Well, that same night, the other brother was kept awake as well. I have so many blessings. I have this whole family. I'm so blessed. I'm so lucky. And my brother lives on his own. I should give him some of my harvest. So that brother gets up in his pajamas, and what does he do? He takes some of what he has, and he goes across the field, and he leaves it at his brother's house. Well, when they woke up in the morning, they both noticed that the crops they hadn't diminished. That's funny. I'll just do it again tonight. So the next night, the brother on this side of the field woke up again and took some of his harvest across the field and brought it to his brother, and the other brother did the same. And on the third night, they did it again because their crops hadn't diminished. So they each grabbed some to bring to their brother and set out to the field. And on this night, they happened to go at the exact same time. And in the middle of the field, the brothers met and saw what the other was doing. And immediately they understood. Their brother cared for them, wanted to give some of their blessing to each other. And they were overwhelmed by gratitude and love, and they hugged. And the story goes that this place, in the middle of their field, where the brothers met one another and gave each other some of what they had, is the place where the Beit HaMikdash would be built, where the holiest temple would be built on that spot on the brothers' field. It's a story, but it's a nice one. And something else is being built in our Torah portion this week. So this week's portion is Truma, which is the beginning of a series of 5 parshiot where the Israelites are building the Mishkan. This is the portable sanctuary, the tabernacle that they'll take with them on their journey throughout the wilderness. And in this week's parsha, they're beginning this project. There's lots and lots of instructions from God about exactly how to build it. It's got a lot of great architecture and art and lots going on. And there's one very, very famous line in this week's portion when God is first telling the Israelites to build the Mishkan. And the line goes, Va'asu li mikdash v'shachanti betocham. Make me a mikdash so that I may dwell among them. A few things are funky with this line. First, God says, make me a mikdash. Now, before I'd called this a mishkan. A mishkan comes from the root shin, kaf, nun, which is dwelling. It means dwelling place. A mikdash comes from the root kuf, daled, shin, kodesh, holiness. Not just a dwelling place, but a holy place. A place for something holy. How do you make a place holy? What makes a place holy? So that's the first thing that I think is a little funky. The second thing that's a little funky is that the line says, V'shachanti bitocham, that I may dwell among them. You might think God would say, make me a mikdash so I can dwell in it, right? But instead it says, so I may dwell among them. We might think that the them is the people, the Israelites. And this might give us a clue about what it means to make a place holy. Maybe the people make a place holy. When I think about holy places, this room is one of the places that comes to mind. I don't know about you. When was the first time you came into this space? You think to yourself, what do you remember? When I came in, I was taking a tour with Rabbi Fenster, and I noticed the big glass walls. I noticed the trees outside. I noticed the ark and the beautiful art inside of it. And it was pretty awesome. I was like, this is a great place. But when I came back a few weeks later for Shabbat services, and the place was filled with people and prayer and music, I was like, oh, this is a holy place. When it really came alive, it was filled with people and music and prayer and love. Did something else for me. For the Israelites, the place that they're building isn't stationary. It doesn't stay in one place. They take it with them, and they fill it with people and with connection to make it holy and to make it that dwelling place for God. A sanctuary can have really beautiful architecture like this one and like the one that the Israelites build in this portion. But what sets apart a space as holy are the people and love and connection that fill it, that make a mishkan into a mikdash, a holy place, with the people who dwell in it, and like the two brothers who made their space holy with their love and their connection to one another. Shabbat shalom.